Look at your bio. You started as a humanities major.
Yeah.
And then you studied history and literature. And then you went to economics and business. And now you found yourself a CEO of YouTube. So of course, the first question one asks is, how did that happen?
Yeah, well, I think it's really good to have a diverse background, and it's good to explore new and different areas. And I had been history and literature as an undergraduate. I only took my first computer science class when I was a senior in college. And it happened because I used to do temp work during my vacations, and I was assigned once to a startup, and I realized they were doing really interesting work, and I wanted to learn more, and I took a computer science class. I took CS50, which was the intro for a computer science major, and I loved it. And it was interesting because at the time I thought, like, it's too late for me. I was only 21, right? And I thought, like, it's too late to be computer science. Like, my career's over. And so I do think it is really important for people to remember that you can make changes and learn and adjust your career over time. And it just appealed to me, the creative, the dynamic, fast-moving, many components of it. And then when I actually grew up here in the Bay Area. My dad was a professor at Stanford. So when I came back, I got a job at a startup. And I've been in tech now for almost 35 years.
Diane, you're a fellow at Google, and you've been there for a long time. Now, it may not be very obvious to the audience what it means to be a Google fellow, so maybe you can tell us a little bit about that. And the other thing
Google wants to know about, and so if there's something we haven't figured out or we want to have a lot more analysis on something, we go to Diane, and she provides a lot of insights for us.
Now, data science and data science algorithms, of course, are a really, really big part of YouTube as well. And one of the prime examples of it is the recommender system that you have, which I use almost every day, right? And sometimes I like it and sometimes I don't, but I won't. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, we'll have to talk afterwards. Yeah, what you don't like about it.
Yeah. But I know you really like working on these recommender systems, and so I'd love to hear how that has evolved over time, how you build those, and recently you did a total revamp, and so I'd love to hear about that too, and what kind of benefits that has given you and the company.
Sure. Well, recommendations are really essential to YouTube because of the volume that we operate at. So we have billions of people who come to YouTube every single day, and we have over 500 hours that are uploaded every minute to YouTube. So as a result, we need to figure out how do you match this large volume of users with content, and how do I know, like, that you're interested in cycling, for example, right? And we'll have to talk afterwards about what you're not interested in. But ideally,
Botox, I'm not in.
So we look at those signals. We look at the users. What is the history in terms of what they've watched? What have they said they like? What have they said they dislike? And then we also survey the users to understand their feelings about some of those videos in terms of what was really positive or what was really negative. And then we include that into our learning system to better predict what is it to actually show to a user. Now, our systems generally evolved in terms of trying to, using new machine learning and new approaches to do that in a better, more efficient way. I believe we use over 80 billion signals, or some very large amount of data to better understand what are the right sets of content to recommend to you. But over the years, it got increasingly complex, and we had to, as YouTube moved more from entertainment to information, we had to make changes in terms of how our systems worked. So when you think about entertainment, it's okay if there's a song that came out yesterday and now in the first 24 hours, and we have some new hits that come out, will have millions, 100 million views, for example, in 24 hours. And that's okay for entertainment, but when you deal with something like news or medical information, you don't want it to be from a new source that suddenly has this huge amount of views. You want to go back to trusted sources.
Very devastating news. Susan Wojcicki, the lady who served as the CEO of YouTube for close to 9 years during a period of massive growth. I remember, the platform was below the ladder. It was really at the basement, but by the time she joined, I think she's one of those personalities, those ladies you can think about who transformed the video platform YouTube as and Google as a whole to a whole different level. She has passed on at the age of 56. That was on Friday, August 10th. Wojcicki's death came after a two-year battle, according to a statement that was released by the husband. They say that she fought a 2-year battle, with health-related issues, most especially with regards to the lungs. And the husband, Dennis Troper, continued in a very touching statement on Facebook. He released and said that it's with profound sadness that I share the news of Susan Wojcicki's passing. My beloved wife of 26 years and mother to our 5 children left us today after 2 years of living with non-small cell lung related issues. Troper wrote in a post and said that Susan was not just her best friend and partner in life, but a brilliant mind and a loving mother and a dear friend to so many people. Her impact on the family and the world is really immeasurable, and I agree with that, because she's a lady who transformed the platform where I'm posting this video from. She's the lady who actually built it from scratch. She did not start it, but she was part of, actually they say that she was the 16th member at a time when she joined. That was in the late 90s when she joined Google and YouTube, and actually built together with other team members a platform that rose up to the position of number 1, even up to right now. They say that she's the core of history of Google as anyone, and it's hard to imagine the world without her. And so many friends, so many YouTube fans, so many people who are into tech business are actually coming out to mourn her passing on, and I can say that she's a lady who is going to be missed dearly. Our thoughts in this moment in time should go to the family, friends, and everyone who actually knew and loved Susan. She's actually one of those co-founders, core members, that group that started YouTube, that elevated Google as just a small company that was in the being organized and managed and administered in a basement of a house, to a very huge brand, and we credit her for all that. She was appointed as a senior executive early on in her career, and actually she became one of the biggest people within the advertising department, and of course looking for business for YouTube, introducing AdSense, a platform that has paid so many people something so many people have gained from. For me, I have no bad words about her. She left the company in right hands, and of course I'm very sure the future of YouTube is really in the right direction, and I'm very sure it's going to stay as number 1 for so many years, despite the so many social media platforms that are coming out, TikTok and others. YouTube remains the best, and of course this position is basically as a result of the work which Susan actually put in early on in her career and during her 9-year stint. I'm only sending prayers to the family, the husband, the kids. I was reading somewhere a couple of months ago, last year I think, she lost one of the teen boys she had, and of course she has been a very good person. She was a very good person. You could tell even in the interviews she held that she's been one of those people you could look up to. All the young girls could look up to her, and in this moment in time all I can say is rest in power the Queen Susan Wojcicki.